The best Mortal Kombat 1 features arriving year 2 at launch. Towers of Time, online practice mode, Animalities for everyone, and Cameo brutalities. That's aside from the expansion actually having a story mode and combat pack too. Not to mention new stages and aesthetics. Some arriving with just a simple update, and some additionally you have to buy with the actual DLC expansion. Either way, that's still a ton of content and I'm excited for it. First, I obviously want to touch base on the Towers of Time. Towers of Time is a monumental game mode. At first, it's something additional that we can do in Mortal Kombat because it's been a while since we've had something. Invasions has felt very, very dull. It's something, I mean, although they're bringing a lot of content, in hindsight, it's just, unless you're just completely new to the franchise, maybe Invasions is something cool for you, but for me, it's just not there. So I think Towers of Time is going to bring that vibe of spicing up some game modes, giving us something, because I was someone who really enjoyed like Test Your Luck back in the day also. So I think Towers of Time is going to help us out with that, with unlockables, not having to do dreadful types of grinds, but instead do something a little bit more enjoyable, fun challenges, and just, well, we don't know what Mortal Kombat is going to do this time around with that, but I am excited for Towers of Time being able to be implemented once again. Probably one of the best essentials for a casual, especially those that, one, are kind of exhausted from Combat League, two, those that already got to like Elder God, they just want to take like a couple of breaks before they jump back into like repetitions, and just overall those who just don't even really have a huge I guess outlook on online gameplay or just competing or getting sweaty or whatever. And I know people will probably like, well, that's what fighting games are for, right, to play online. Well, I can kind of combat that because I'm going to go into this. Well, we could talk about on Towers of Time also, and the next one I'm talking about also is online practice mode. But on Towers of Time, I think, and online practice mode, really transitioning into that, are two capabilities where you can kind of just play a game at a high-ass level without necessarily having to really be online. Now, two ways I can really prove the notion of this is that I hope Towers of Time does really make that AI a lot smarter, similar to how like Tekken is doing with like Ghost, like being able to download a Ghost, and similar to how Street Fighter 6 is doing like the V rivals. This helps out with just like the Ghost overall gameplays, AI that are just really downloading people that play online all day at all different types of ranks, and you're able to fight against that with really nothing else at stake, I guess you can say. So you can, you know, save your records or save whatever your mentality, and you could train these games. At the end of the day, fighting games are very much a smaller niche because they are very tough games to play, especially when you're playing against others. But that's what also makes it very rewarding, right? You never want to take away the full rewarding aspect of fighting games, because then what the hell are we going to be playing fighting games for? And a lot of times, like the banter is fun, you know, the trash talking can be fun at times. So it depends on what day you're landing on and what you feel like doing, which is why options are always great in fighting games. And so therefore, if you complete story modes, it's great to just have this Towers of Time, or like what Tekken does, like Ghost battles, and what Street Fighter 6 is doing coming up pretty soon, which is that V rivals aspect where you can just kind of, I think it's V rivals, that's what they're calling it. And so where you can just compete against like smarter AI that are just downloading all types of people's habits and everything on how they actually deliver in fighting games, from highest ranks all the way onward. Now I want to talk about the online practice mode also, which is another way to play at the highest level you can possibly play. You can have all your settings mode however you want, and you could just train. You know, you can go multiple rounds with people. You can do your own in-bar. It's kind of like the way King of the Hill was. Like, you can do King of the Hill now. Like, that was very good too. I think King of the Hill is still something that didn't get celebrated too much because it did take a while, not for it to just arrive, but for them to actually perfect the scenario of how we wanted King of the Hill. But King of the Hill is something also that I feel can go within this online practice mode for Mortal Kombat 1, and helping players just get way better without putting too much at stake, like having to be on Combat League, because practicing having to be on Combat League or having to be on rank sucks. I kind of just do that right now because sometimes I'm just down to go for the risk, right? Like even in Tekken, like I'm playing like blue ranks, and I'm just down to just jump in a rank and use that as my training, right? Like get my ass kicked as I learn whatever types of punishes or any type of habits I fight against, what I shouldn't be doing. And I do the same thing in Mortal Kombat also. I just kind of learn as I go because I already know the overall additional factors that you need to know in fighting games, whether it's frames or what punishes, any types of counters. Now, I'm not perfect, but I at least know that groundwork where I'm like, okay, I can just learn as I go. When I get my ass kicked, I'll learn. When I win, I'll still learn. So, but if you don't want to put that much at risk or at stake like the way I am at times, I think online practice mode and towers at time are going to be fun. And hopefully Mortal Kombat does kind of adopt that idea that Tekken and Street Fighter 6 are doing, which you're basically going to be playing people's ghosts and people's habits and fighting against them, where it feels like you're far more replicating a person versus just an AI at that point. Hopefully, I guess, depending on how great the technology is on adapting all that. Next is Cameo Brutalities. Cameo Brutalities is something that really, I think it turns Mortal Kombat more into a zoning perspective, at least somewhat, like when you're looking at like Sector and probably other cameos also, depending on what actual brutalities they're going to bring among the cameos. I think this is also added because they're probably not too sure when they're going to add any additional cameos, or if there ever will be additional cameos. Might as well keep adding on things to them, right? So Cameo Brutalities just gives you spicier finishes, right? Now you got your characters' main brutalities that you have to unlock and all that stuff. Then you got actual Cameo Brutalities, which we don't know how much, and then the Cameo Fatality also. So Cameo is very heavily involved now at this point going into year 2, which is good. We want cameos to be involved as much as we could because we're not necessarily getting a tag variation, at least from what we know. And we're not getting one-on-ones yet. So we're going to have this cameo. Like, we don't want them to just be like subpar, like the way it kind of was at launch. Instead, now, like, more involvement, more... I wish you can unlock way more aesthetics and maybe have different choices for the cameo. Similar to how you can customize your character like in MKX, MK11, how you had like 3 different variations and you had your own custom variation. I wish we could really edit cameos. That would be one of the coolest things that I think we could do, right? With your cameo, instead, figure out like 3 moves you would really want for your cameo depending on your style of play, right? If you like to zone, maybe you can do that. Or if you want to be a rush down character, or you want to be like just whatever you want, like some type of overhead punish that you're missing from your main roster character. Like whatever it is to like implement, I wish you could do that and kind of just customize your own loadout for your cameo. And I think that would be something that would be pretty cool in my opinion, versus just trying to have to remember everything all the time, or I don't know, just something like that within that nature. That would be pretty cool. But either way, cameos have gotten a lot better since launch, and I am super excited for that. And them having brutalities now, depending on how much they do get, it's going to be a great way to just end the game. It makes it better for your viewers. So now you have multitudes of routes. You got fatalities, animalities. They're probably going to have a lot more. Then you have your classic brutality, aside from all the other brutalities you can unlock. Then you have your cameo brutalities. Lots of stuff, lots of ways to end it and to have spicier and swaggier aspects. Way more aspects on how you want to end the game for overall viewership, I would say, I guess. All right. Then next also is another thing. Animalities for all. Animalities for all is actually pretty cool, right? Because you got to think about it, right? And this is a funny thing because this is going all over Twitter also, and I agree with this. Animalities are free with the update, but yet we had to pay for like holiday fatalities. Insane, by the way. So the thing about Animalities is that it's for everyone, but when you say everyone, it's not like everyone just roster-wise. It's everyone guest character-wise also. So everybody is getting something. That you're going to see Homelander turn into something. You're going to see Ghostface turn into something. So whatever they have planned for that is pretty cool to involve the guest characters to make it far more seamless and like, okay, cool. Everybody's involved in this game. And we don't want to make it seem like it was just random, like we're adding these characters. Here you go. Which guest characters are essentially, but it still looks pretty cool. It's cool that they're going to be adding all that, man. So Animalities for legit everyone is definitely one of the coolest things you can do. Then we got new stages. They have been teasing already a few new stages. Some of the devs have also been talking about it. They're excited about. There's like a lot of variations. They also did confirm that on Combat Cast. So lots of new stages. And then new skins is something that I'm really intrigued about, right? We've been getting a free skin once per week. And then we also had the 95 skins, the Ultimate MK3 skins. We had some Deadly Alliance skins. We've had some Deception skins. We also have 3D Era people that are around. So depending on what they're doing with skins, I'm not asking for a full just nostalgia, but hopefully skins just get much more creative this time around. I felt like at launch it was very lazy with all the palettes and stuff. So it's gotten better, right? It looks drastically different now. A lot of the options on how you can really decide what you want to choose for your character. I feel the way the character looks also makes it a very fun viewership essential to watch, in Mortal Kombat. That's what Mortal Kombat is, the way it looks, how brutal it is, the fatalities, just everything you do, how you look, all the ninja formats, whatever it is, from the ladies to like Quan Chi to like just any aesthetic and everybody that's unique. Give them their best unique skins and just hurry up and do it. Not like overnight, but just make sure you're delivering those for us to purchase, to unlock, whatever it is. So I hope Towers of Time brings in those free variations. And then I hope that there's also premiums and stuff that we can get. Or maybe other stuff for like, I don't know, like Combat League and everything. Then we have, and then last but not least, of course, I'm going to mention the DLC story and the combat pack, right? Like out of all that content, at the end of the day, there's still this DLC story and the actual combat pack too, which we get 3 characters at launch, Cyrax, Sector, and Noob, which Noob's gonna go insane. And then you have the DLC story. We got a whole nother story that is confirmed to be back to the OG MK outlook. Year 1 was meant to be a beautiful year, like the refoundation of everything. Even the devs said it and everything. And year 2, they're purposely going back to the gritty side of MK, dark, real brutal. They wanted, like, all the stages are going to look like that. They just wanted to look like the way Mortal Kombat has always been, which is a cool way to really split the notions of Mortal Kombat 1, because what we're going to get right now is something that I feel that we should have gotten at launch, but it's better late than never to an extent, because a lot of casuals are gone. But I am so excited for this, because when you look at this down the line in terms of just these are just things at launch. When you look at it and I read it out loud at launch: Towers of Time, online practice mode, Cameo brutalities, Animalities for all, new stages, new skins, DLC story, and combat pack 2. When you look at that down the list at this all being at launch, that's not even to mention like all the buffs, character movesets, whatever they're else trying to add. I mean, they already showed some at Combat Cast, and whatever other full patch notes they're going to have. Hopefully more characters getting stronger versus just nerfing shit to the ground. This is a massive and monumental content release at launch that I've seen in a long time. And Mortal Kombat 1 in totality has been on fire with content. So I am very excited to see what they're going to be moving forward. Like what I said earlier, they released all those skins and they're doing the free skin a week. Content is on their mind right now for some reason. It could be a desperate act because MK1's not really, at least for now, the longevity, or at least its launch time in totality has not really performed up to like MK standards. Or they're just simply like, screw it, we're just going to give all this content, let's just keep it rolling, it'll bring people around. But yeah, either way, I really enjoy this. Year 2 looks insane. It's a historic run that they're doing right now, although not really the best game, still a top 5 MK game. And also what they're doing is pretty cool, and we're live seeing it, so there's no better way, man. But y'all let me know y'all's thoughts. I appreciate y'all, and peace.